See, we live in boxes, all of us. Now, that box is your culture, your idea of who you are, your frame of reference, your beliefs, your society, what the people talk to, what the people talk about, the accent, the stuff they wear, all of those things. They are all descriptions that tie you together to a certain type of culture, a certain type of people, and so on. And that puts you in a box. It like qualifies you, it describes you, and it gives you a direction. And it's not all bad, because sometimes, if we need, as human beings, we have a need to belong to a certain something, a certain society, a certain group of people. And our culture actually promotes the idea that you should be adhesive to their culture and their group of people. And in many cases, the whole culture of your society really is about limiting your ability to move outside the society, depending on how oppressive the society is. Now, as I said, everybody lives in a box. This is a box. It's made from Mozambican hardwood, and it's very nice. I used to keep all kinds of stuff in here. But it's a box. So you have different kinds of boxes. Some people's lives would rather resemble a dilapidated cardboard box. Other people will have a nice gilded box. Other people will have a hardwood box like this. But at the end of the day, we all have a box, and we all fit our lives within a certain level of experience of life. Our lives are guided around that. I've seen many times different kinds of people where a family of people are high achieving, and the children go on to be high achievers as well. And that, of course, it depends on the parents and the way they bring up their children. But you see that they create a thing called a consciousness within a family, which then is a reflection of the consciousness of the extended family and of the culture of the people. And that's how people live, and it's fine. If it works, and as long as it works, it's fine. People will do that. And you can't blame people, because people need to have an identity in order to be able to move through life and understand the expectations of that life as you go through it. Now, as long as that works, then it's cool. But the problem is if it stops working. When it stops working and all those belief systems just disintegrate and explode in a sense, and you sit with your box disintegrated around you, all your beliefs and everything you thought was real and everything you built your life around disintegrates. Imagine the saying that people use. They say that this ticks a box for me and that ticks a box for me. Now, you can have a whole warehouse full of ticked boxes that will tell you belong to this culture. You might be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, and all the things that is expected of that kind of lifestyle, a business person, a nurse, whatever you choose to do. There's a certain identity list of boxes that you have to tick. This is me, this is me, this is me, this is me. And you'll go on and keep on ticking the boxes, because the more boxes you tick, the big thing is to have a whole warehouse full of ticked boxes. Now imagine that box warehouse burns down. It catches fire, it burns down, and that entire identity of yours is gone. It now means nothing to you. You're sitting with a situation like, who am I? Because all these things I've been doing my entire life actually is pointless, because now I've got to start over again. Maybe I'm 40 years old. Maybe I'm not so young anymore. I need to now change everything around me. Everything I worked so hard for, I sacrificed my family and so on for, it's all gone for nothing. It happens to people, and it's happening more and more to people now, where we are sitting with a situation where the volatility in the markets is, technology is exploding. The things that are happening all over the world politically, that's a bit of a mess in most places. The whole corporate model is wobbling, that we see that, people are becoming dispensable. People thought they had careers for years, and it's not true anymore. They just drop out of the careers, your job disappears, poof, and there you go. Now you can choose to make your life smaller every time to accommodate for a lesser and lesser life, And at the end of the day, you're going to work in a fast food store for a minimum wage, and you're going to hate your life because, people will say to you, the very clever, smug people will say to you, you made bad life choices. So what's going to happen to you is you're going to diminish your life. Your life's going to be smaller and smaller. And in the end, you live in one room, rented, and you eat porridge 3 meals a day. And you would think, what happened to all my potential? What happened to everything that I used to think and I'm going to be, and all the wonderful things that were possible for me? What happened to that all? Now you see, that happens to so many people, and it's happening more and more to people all over the world. Now what is the challenge for us? The challenge is for us to wake up. When you have this massive challenge that comes into your life, when life hits you and slaps you really down, or really gives you the shoulder, or gives you a running tackle or whatever, when life does that kind of thing, it doesn't do it to you, by the way, life happens to everybody, and nobody's immune to this massive change. Everybody's going through this to some degree or another, and depending on your ability to withstand any of these things, you will be able to ride the storm. But that is a different subject for a different time. What we're talking about now is really when the whole thing disintegrates, where do you start? And that is one of the subjects we do in Awaken Unafraid, is to go back and understand where we are, who we are from the beginning, from the first principle of who we are and what we're doing here. And we start and rebuild your life in an amazing way, an amazing, powerful way. We start with the energy and everything around that really shapes your life and puts you on a track to a path where you can create a life that's worth living for yourself and for other people. It's a challenge, it's not easy. And the main thing for you is that you must be willing to wake up. And that's scary. Waking up is never easy, and it's never comfortable. But waking up is for the next subject. So stick around, it'll come soon. Thanks.